This is ChainMind, the decentralized AI network built for everyone. Just search ChainMind on Google, sign up, download the app, and you're in. That's it. You've joined the network. Run it on any device, phone, laptop, or server. Why ChainMind? Fully decentralized, fully yours.
When you tap Connect on a pair of earbuds or a fitness tracker, you rarely think about the invisible decision-making happening inside the tiny radios that make that magic possible. Yet that split-second handshake is the result of two very different Bluetooth families, each built for a distinct purpose, and choosing the wrong one can drain a battery in hours or choke a data stream in seconds. Bluetooth, as most of us know it, is a single brand that covers a whole family of specifications. The original protocol, released at the turn of the millennium, was designed for continuous, high-throughput streams, think voice calls, music files, and early game controllers. A decade later, the Bluetooth Special Interest Group added a second stack, Bluetooth Low Energy, because the emerging Internet of Things demanded a way to whisper tiny packets of data without ever waking the device fully. Both stacks live in the same 2.4 GHz ISM band, they share the same basic radio hardware, and they both inherit the same core security mechanisms. What separates them is how they manage connections, how much power they sip, and how fast they can move data. Understanding those differences is the first step toward building products that feel effortless, stay powered for months, and never surprise the user with a sudden drop in performance. Classic Bluetooth, officially called Basic Rate Enhanced Data Rate, is the workhorse of the original era. Its design revolves around an always-on link that can sustain up to 3 megabits per second when the enhanced data rate modulation is engaged. That bandwidth, combined with a point-to-point or point-to-multipoint connection model that stays active for the duration of a session, makes it perfect for anything that needs a steady pipe of information. Imagine a wireless headset streaming high-fidelity stereo audio to a phone. The headset's radio draws somewhere between 30 and 50 milliamps while you're on a call, and the link stays alive for as long as the conversation lasts. The low latency, often under 100 milliseconds, means your voice reaches the other side without a perceptible echo, and the audio arrives crisp enough for a music lover to notice. The same principles apply to file transfers between phones, where the object push profile can move a photo in a few seconds, or to gaming controllers that need instant response to keep a player's actions in sync with the screen. In automotive infotainment, the car's head unit uses classic Bluetooth to keep your phone's music flowing and your hands free for calls, relying on the hands-free profile to manage both audio and voice commands without interruption. Bluetooth Low Energy was engineered from the ground up with a different mantra: connect, exchange a few bytes, disconnect, and go to sleep. Its raw data rate tops out at 2 megabits per second with the 2M-PHY introduced in Bluetooth 5, but most real-world applications hover between 100 and 1000 kilobits per second. The key is the flexible advertising and connection intervals that let a device spend the overwhelming majority of its time in a deep sleep state, drawing only microamperes. Picture a tiny temperature sensor stuck inside a wall, waking up once a minute to send a 20-byte packet to a gateway. Its radio might draw 10 microamps on average, meaning a single County Route 2032 coin cell can power it for 3 to 5 years without replacement. Health monitors follow the same pattern. A heart rate strap transmits a small burst of data every few seconds, while a smartwatch uses BLE to sync steps, sleep metrics, and notifications while the user's wrist stays still for most of the day. In the retail world, beacons broadcast advertising packets every few hundred milliseconds, letting a shopper's phone discover a nearby sale the moment they step into a store aisle. All of these scenarios share a common thread: intermittent data strict power budgets, and the need for fast discovery. Even though both stacks share the same radio, their internal architectures diverge sharply. Classic Bluetooth uses a time division duplex scheme with fixed slots of 625 microseconds, a rigid structure that guarantees a predictable rhythm for continuous streams. BLE, on the other hand, adopts a flexible slot architecture that can shrink to as little as 125 microseconds, allowing devices to fine-tune their wake-up schedule to the exact cadence their application demands. That flexibility translates directly into power savings. By lengthening the advertising interval, extending the connection interval, or adding slave latency, a BLE device can stay asleep for longer stretches without missing the occasional data burst. Discovery also looks different. Classic Bluetooth relies on an inquiry and page process that can take several seconds, which is fine for pairing a headset but cumbersome for a proximity-based service. BLE's advertising packets can be broadcast as often as every 20 milliseconds, making it possible for a phone to see a beacon the instant it walks past a store entrance, enabling real-time contextual experiences. Power budgeting is where the decision becomes crystal clear. A typical Bluetooth Classic headset during a call may draw 30 to 50 milliamps, limiting its battery life to a few hours before a recharge is needed. Contrast that with a BLE temperature sensor that transmits a tiny payload once per minute and averages less than 10 microamps. The difference isn't just a number on a datasheet, it dictates the user experience. No one wants to replace a sensor's battery every month, just as no one wants a headset that dies mid-song. By adjusting three core BLE parameters, advertising interval, connection interval, and slave latency, engineers can stretch that battery life even further, sometimes achieving multi-year operation on a single cell. Those knobs are absent in classic Bluetooth, where the radio must stay active for the entire session, consuming power continuously. When it comes to data throughput and latency, the classic versus low-energy debate still matters. Real-time audio, video, and high-speed file transfers still find their sweet spot in classic Bluetooth. The continuous link and higher sustained data rate keep latency under 100 milliseconds, a threshold that matters for voice-over IP calls, gaming controllers, and any scenario where a delay becomes noticeable. BLE has closed the gap though. With Bluetooth 5's 2mFi, raw data rates double, and the 4x coded Fi offers longer range at lower data rates, perfect for sensor-to-gateway links in a warehouse. For many IoT applications, a few hundred milliseconds of latency is perfectly acceptable, especially when weighed against the massive battery savings. Security, however, remains a shared responsibility. Both stacks implement secure simple pairing for classic and less secure connections for BLE, using elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman key exchange. The attack surfaces differ. Classic's longer connection windows can expose more data to eavesdropping if encryption isn't enforced, while BLE's advertising packets are openly broadcast, requiring developers to rotate identifiers or encrypt payloads to protect privacy. The infamous Swain tooth and knob vulnerabilities have reminded the industry that firmware updates and proper pairing methods, avoiding legacy, just works where possible, are essential, regardless of which Bluetooth family you pick. But here's the part most people get wrong. You don't have to choose one stack forever. Modern chipsets often embed both classic and BLE radios, allowing a single device to switch between them based on the active use case. A smartphone, for instance, uses classic Bluetooth for high-quality audio streaming to headphones, while simultaneously maintaining a BLE connection to a fitness band that pushes step counts and heart rate data. Some devices even run both stacks in parallel, using Classic for a video call and BLE for a proximity sensor that triggers a screen wake-up. This hybrid approach gives designers the flexibility to meet the high throughput demands of one function without sacrificing the ultra-low power needs of another. It also future-proofs products against upcoming standards like Bluetooth Low Audio, introduced with Bluetooth 5.3's isochronous channels. La Audio promises to deliver audio quality comparable to classic A2DP while keeping the power draw low enough for true wireless earbuds to run for days on a single charge. As that technology matures, the line between classic and BLE for audio will blur, making the hybrid model the default rather than the exception. Choosing the right Bluetooth type for your product should start with 3 simple questions. First, what is the data payload? If you need to stream megabytes per second, say, high-resolution music or video, classic Bluetooth remains the safest bet. If you're dealing with occasional 10-byte sensor readings, BLE is optimal. Second, how long must the device run on a battery? Anything expected to survive months or years on a coin cell should default to BLE, leveraging its deep sleep capabilities and adjustable intervals. Third, what latency is acceptable? Real-time voice, gaming, or interactive media demand sub 100 millisecond latency, nudging you toward classic. Contextual notifications, environmental monitoring, or asset tracking can tolerate higher latency, making BLE the clear winner. By answering these questions early in the design process, you avoid costly redesigns and ensure that your product delivers the experience users expect. Looking ahead, the Bluetooth ecosystem is converging rather than fragmenting. La Audio, mesh networking, and the continued evolution of the 5.x specifications are turning BLE into a universal platform that can handle everything from sensor data to high-fidelity audio. Yet classic Bluetooth still holds a firm place for legacy peripherals and scenarios where ultra-low latency is non-negotiable. The smart move for engineers is to adopt chipsets that support both, design firmware that can dynamically switch stacks, and stay vigilant about security updates. In doing so, you future-proof your designs while delivering the best of both worlds to the end user. If you're building the next generation of connected devices, whether it's a wireless headset that never drops a beat, a city-wide sensor network that runs for years without maintenance, or an AI-enhanced edge device that needs to process data locally, understanding classic Bluetooth and BLE is the foundation of a reliable, power-efficient product. At ChainMind, we're harnessing the same principle of matching the right tool to the right job, but in the realm of decentralized AI inference. Just as you select the optimal Bluetooth stack for your hardware, we match each AI workload to the most efficient node in our network, ensuring low latency, minimal energy use, and robust security for every inference request. If this deep dive helped clarify when to use classic Bluetooth versus low energy, and you're curious about how decentralized AI can amplify the performance of your IoT solutions, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and follow ChainMind for more insights that bridge hardware design and cutting-edge AI. Together we'll build a future where every device communicates intelligently, efficiently, and securely.